One thing you got to realize, when things are uncertain, confidence goes down a little and most people wait. They kind of sit on their hands. Like I visualize people going, let's just see where things are going. And I think it gives people an unfair advantage who have different mindset shifts to go, no, this means I must move. I can't stand still. And AI will replace some industries, but others are going to be fueled. It's the accelerator. It's the gas. When you realize that AI can get you off the blank page. It can condense decades into days. It can condense months into hours and just allow you to go faster. Then you want to be in something going, wow, when I understand AI, when I can go faster and I'm in an industry that's growing, why the heck can't I do this? And in times like this, you have to watch the story because the wrong story will get you to stall.
It's 2025. AI is on everyone's minds. There is trade wars happening. There's tariffs. Is the economy going to crash? Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? I can't tell you the answer to any of those questions, but I can tell you two things. Number one, I don't know the answers. Number two, you're going to have to change your mindset. And it's going to be up to you. Okay. So none of these things matters. What matters is how you handle it. Right. And so there's 5 specific mindset shifts that you need to make to thrive in 2025. All right. And this is regardless of all the external stuff. So I've got the man, Dean Graziosi here. He's going to walk us through those 5 mindset shifts. Dean,
well, cool. I made notes and I've been juggling them around on the 5, because if you really boil it down, people want like one magic, do this and you'll be safe. Right. But there are some fundamental pieces. And one thing that I think is really important for people, if you Google it right now, the majority of the Fortune 500 companies were started during a down market or a recession. And there's a reason for that. And I think high level, before we get into these mindset shifts, one thing you got to realize, when things are uncertain, what happens is confidence goes down a little and most people wait. They kind of sit on their hands. Like I visualize people going, let's just see where things are going. And I think it gives people an unfair advantage who have different mindset shifts to go, no, this means I must move. I can't stand still. I heard once, you're never standing still. You're either you're climbing or you're sliding, right? There's no in between. Think about it in your business. If you said to everybody, Peter, everybody, let's not grow, but let's not shrink. Let's leave it right here. What would happen to the business?
It would shrink.
It would shrink, right? So I think this is actually an amazing time because your competition is less. To do your own thing, to start your own thing, to go all in on a book, go all in on a course, go on the thing that you've been fantasizing about. I really think this is the time. So some of the shifts, and this is in no particular order, identifying habits and stories that don't serve you. You've all heard that before. Everyone's heard it. But what I believe in a shift market is it's a magnifying glass, right? Think about it. If the economy's great, things are good, your significant other is blowing wind behind your sail. I love what you're doing. Like if you have all these things supporting you, don't you feel like I'm unstoppable? Tariffs, shifts, economy, market down, market up, market down. Where are we going? Politically, things are so divided. It starts weighing on your confidence. And I believe the dragons in our head get stronger and mightier the less our confidence goes down, even if it goes down 1 or 2 percentage points. So I think in times like this, we have to protect our confidence. How do we do that? We got to identify the habits that don't serve us. For example, if that's number 1, when you watch the news, do you feel empowered or disempowered? Like, do you ever watch the news and go, man, feeling good? Call you up, Chandler. Chandler, dude, I know you're in Austin. The news comes on in 10. You got to watch this. Never in the history of the world. If you watch the news, it robs your confidence. It feeds that monster of pausing. So we have to identify these certain habits. There's a friend that you have in your life that when things go wrong, like, oh, this is not the time to start a business. You're going to write a book? Come on, this is not the time. Did you see all the books out there? Books don't sell. I hate when somebody gives me a statistic. Did you know that X amount? Yeah, exactly. They weren't hungry enough. They didn't have a big enough plan. If we all had statistics, we would do nothing. Right? So we have to identify, and not oversimplify it. We have to identify the things that rob our confidence, the stories we tell ourselves. Hey, I'm a procrastinator. No, you procrastinated in the past. Those days are over, right? I'm not that smart. No, some of the people with ADD, low IQs have been some of those successful people on the planet. There's always a story for you. There's a story on how you can, or there's a story on how you can't. You know, there's that. I think it's a made up story, but did you ever hear the story of twins? One was in and out of jail, in and out of doing drugs, rehab. The other one, incredibly successful, married with kids. They went to the kid that was the brother that was struggling in and out of jail and drugs and said, hey, what happened, man? He said, my father was an alcoholic and abused me. He goes, what else could I be? And then they went to the twin and said, hey, how'd you get so successful? He goes, my father was an alcoholic and abused me. What else could I be? Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the story we tell ourselves. I mean, Tony Robbins has been preaching this forever, but it's so true. And in times like this, you have to watch the story, because the wrong story will get you to stall. And the wrong habits, obsessing on the news, talking to friends to make you feel bad, those things will make you pause. You'll miss opportunities, be left behind. So that's number one. Number two, making sure that if you're going to start something, you're in a career or an industry that can grow exponentially by what's going on, right? I mean, not to overstate the obvious, but you wouldn't want to start. I don't care how good I am. I wouldn't want to teach you how to start a taxi cab business, right? Doesn't matter how good you are.
Right.
Taxi cabs are over. But I don't even know now if I would teach you how to be an Uber driver, because with what Elon Musk is doing and other people, the autonomous cars, they say within 2 years, every Uber will not have a driver. So even if I teach you to be the best Uber driver, the best organizer, the best manager, have the best standing operating procedure, step one, step two, you're going into a market that's going to die. So you could be the best in a dying market, or you could have the wind behind your back and be a part of an industry that's exponentially growing. And AI will replace some industries, but others are going to be fueled. It's the accelerator. It's the gas. When you realize that AI can get you off the blank page, it can condense decades into days, it can condense months into hours, and just allow you to go faster, then you want to be in something going, wow, when I understand AI, when I can go faster, and I'm in an industry that's growing, why the heck can't I do this, right? And for you, books will always be something people want. Always. AI is not going to replace books. It can help you go faster and compound it, but they still want a personal touch and a story. I'm obsessed with books. For what Tony and I do as co-founders of Mastermind, we teach people to create courses and workshops and masterminds and communities. That's always going to be a thing. People are always going to want to be around and learn capabilities to go faster. AI can make it quicker. It can make it easier and compound.
Just want to briefly touch on that. I think there's a quote that I love that says, pioneers come back with arrows in their back. Right. So there's kind of like that second mover. It's watch the trend and then the second mover advantage. And I think that's really powerful within what you're saying. But then there's also in breakthrough advertising, they talk about the difference between channeling existing demand and creating demand.
Yeah.
And anytime you got to go into a market where you're creating demand, you now have to educate the customer, and it's really
hard.
It was really hard and it's really expensive.
Yeah.
Right. And so why not instead channel existing demand? And to your point, kind of skating where the puck is going.
Yeah.
So I love that. But that's 1 and 2.
Yep.
What's 3?
Modeling proven practices. When we have ideas and thoughts, especially if this is your first entrepreneurial journey, first time wanting to do your own thing, first time kind of stepping off the path that you were taught, go to school, get good grades, go to college, get good grades, get a good job, right? And without realizing it, sometimes we fall into a career mindset. Now, I'm not knocking a career mindset. Thank God we have people with amazing career mindsets that work with us to help empower our businesses. It's not a knock. Sometimes when we get in that career and we get that first job or that next job, you go, I love this company. I'm going to change this company. I'm going to make it better. I'm going to bring my ideas. I'm going to bring my innovation. I'm going to get promotions. I'm going to get raises. I'm going to be the top in this industry. And sometimes we're not dealt the best hand. Somebody that's our leader doesn't listen to us. You presented 4 times in front of everybody and never heard. And all of a sudden, since you're not moving the needle, it doesn't sound like you're heard. Sometimes we just kind of resort back to, well, it's as good as it's going to get. I'll get my raises. I'll do my thing. And I feel like that we're slowly dying. And we also, when you're in that career, you got some guardrails, might be a little protection, and you feel a little bit safe. But I don't think that's if you're watching Chandler, you're listening to us right now, I'm guessing you don't want to get to the end of your life and say, I played it safe. You're listening to a video like this or watching a video like this because you're like, no, I'm meant for more and I want to do something. So with that said, and again, that's not for everybody. It's just for some people. I wanted you to hear it. You are enough. You know enough. You are a badass. Maybe you just didn't have the blueprint. I think about that as my mom. When my dad and mom got divorced when I was 3, my mom is an amazing woman, super smart, but she never had somebody give her a blueprint. She didn't know what the term model proven practices would mean. So she went and got a job painting houses, cutting hair, and cleaning houses. Came home at 10 o'clock at night, every night. And now that I'm older, one of the reasons I worked so hard was to retire her. And I did by the time I was 22. But I think of my mom as a badass. without a blueprint. If someone would have said, whoa, hey, I know you're working 3 jobs. You'll go to 9 o'clock. You'll do anything for your 2 kids. You're an amazing woman. But if you just follow this, if you start here, Gloria, my mom's name's Liv. If you start here, Gloria, and no, don't go to step 3 yet. Go to step 1, then step 2, then step 3. And you know what? And step 3 gets a little nervous. Go back to step 2. They go back to step 3. My mom would have killed it. If my mom was a part of what Tony and I created or went through your training, I know my mom would have written a best-selling book, had a best-selling course, hands down. So I love that thought of badass without a blueprint, but let's just take model proven practices.
Yep.
Most of us think, I got to figure this out. How can be the kryptonite to any superpower you think you have? Because like, how do I get that? How do I get the marketing going? How do I get followers on Instagram? How do I write the book? How do I lay out the course? If you replace how with who has already done it? How do I model what they've done? How do I start off on third base? I cut a check for speed. I condense and collapse time, and I get to start off where they left off.
Love it. Model proven practices. Don't be a badass without a blueprint. That's good. What's step 4?
We got to persist until we succeed. So if you think about it, if we're in an industry that's exponentially growing, if we model proven practices, meaning we're not trying to figure it out on our own, we're modeling this path, then the only thing left is you got to keep taking uncomfortable action. You got to keep moving forward. I love Ogmandino uses that persist. I will persist until I succeed in the book, The World's Greatest Salesman, right?
Yeah, so good.
It's so classic, but you hear it and you're like, gosh, that's the only word in the English language that can literally guarantee your success. Now, if you're following the wrong map, you can persist all you want. You're not going to get there. But if someone gives you the map, like my mom, if I gave my mom the map, if it was an industry that's growing, if she keeps going, there's no way you can't succeed. It might take longer. I think about it as like in the book, it says, whoever told us that the prize was at the beginning of the journey, it's at the end. And then he uses this reference of going around corners. Like I look at it as challenges. Like I'm going to start this thing. You go around the corner, it's not there. You're like, fight hard, persist. There's another corner. You get around, no pot of gold. It's not there. You don't know if it's 3 corners or 30. But if you keep going around one of those corners, is success.
The only way you lose is if you quit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So what's the 5th and final mindset shift for people to make to thrive in 2025?
It all boils down to hunger. And this might be the one you might be looking for something more strategic, but if you look at the people who succeed, they were just a little bit hungrier than the ones that don't, because it's not for the faint at heart, right? But I look at it, I'll go back to what I said. Some people think the career is the safe route. And then you get to the end of your life and you realize you never lived into who you're meant to be. I will take the little bit of a roller coaster. I will live the hard way today so I can live the easy way tomorrow. It's easy not to work out, eat bad food, taste great, but I don't want to get to towards the end of my life and have diabetes or be overweight or not be able to play with my grandchildren. It's easy to go, you know what, there's a weird market, not time, I'll just take the job I hate, coast for 40 years, get to the end and go, I miss that creative, innovative person that lives inside of it. I killed him 40 years ago. Like, I'd rather live the hard way today so it can be easier tomorrow, but that takes not only discipline, it takes hunger. So what I'd say is whatever reason you're listening to us today, or whatever reason you want to write a book, create a course, do your thing, whatever your thing is, find a way to be hungrier. Like
stay hungry.
Go deeper. And it's not just hunger. It's like, you got to think of the things, like sometimes you got to go to the dark side. Like for me, when things got really tough, I'm just going to be transparent. I used to think, if I don't do this, I'm going to end up like my dad. My dad never made more than $35,000 a year. He sucked paint fumes, painting cars and being in a collision shop his whole life. My dad graduated the top of his class, got almost a perfect score on his SATs. He was the smartest kid in his class, but just didn't know how, didn't model proven practices, didn't go for it. And I watch my dad still, he's 88 right now. He's writing a book and I read like 4 chapters. It's unbelievable. Like, he's this incredibly smart human that didn't go for it. And I know most of the time, I'm going to be transparent here. Most of the time when my dad talks about his life now at 88, he ends up in tears because he feels like he missed it. And I want to tell him, you were the perfect dad. I couldn't be the man I am without you, Dad. Thank you. And I get him out of that tear mode. But his tears are because of missed opportunity, because he was hungry enough to dream about it, but he wasn't hungry enough to go after it. So I don't know where that line is for you, but you got to find that line. You got to break that line. And you got to be so hungry that you chew through glass, you'd climb over a rock wall, you'd do whatever it takes
You find something to fuel that hunger. And I was talking to my team the other day, telling a story about, I'm always asking my wife, "Oh, hey, you hungry?" And what does she say? Any guesses? She says, "I could eat."
Yeah.
I could eat.
Oh my God.
But are you hungry? I could eat. And we were in our monthly town hall as a team, and I said, "That's the difference, right? There's a difference between I could eat, and at the time, and I'm hungry." And at the time that I was giving this speech to the team, I think I was on day 7 of a week-long fast or something. And I'm like, let me tell you, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten in days.
Big difference.
And so there's a big difference between I could eat and I am starving. I haven't eaten in days. And so I think, to your point, how can people find that? You got to find a reason to be hungry.
Oh yeah, and say, sorry, I'm going to loop back. I'm going to close the loop. I brought up my dad and I shared, but the truth is, when there was times I wanted to give up, and I don't share this a lot, I used to say, if I give up, I'm going to become my dad. 4 wives, single, didn't talk to most people in his family, never made more than $35,000, $40,000 a year. By the time I was 27, I've been giving him a check every week of his life. He had to live off his son, still lives off me, and I love doing that for him. But if I don't work, I don't care what it takes. Some people say, no, you should focus on an aspirational future. No, I focus on, I'm stuck in a little town, broke, married 5 times, and my kids don't talk to me. Like, I don't care what it takes. I will abuse my inner self to go, get your ass up, get the rocket off the ground, and keep moving. So what I was going to say is, whatever it takes to get the rocket. Tony Robbins always talks about the most energy it takes for a rocket to go into space is the first 100 feet. Do you ever see all the steam? Because it's got to get this big machine, but it's out in space. You hit the button, you're going 1,000 miles an hour. You got to do whatever it takes to get that rocket off the ground.
In closing, we've got a Thrive in 2025 event coming up. Speaking of Tony, I know it's with you, with Tony, with Matthew McConaughey, a bunch of people. So you guys are going to be talking about some of the underpinnings of what we talked about today. What does it take to thrive in 2025? So you want to tell us about the event and who should attend?
I would say, if you know you're meant for more, unfulfilled in the current career, you want to take your business to the next level, dying to do your own thing, you got to show up. Now, in those 3 days, we're going to show you why we believe, just like you believe everybody has got a book in them, we believe everybody is doing a disservice to the world if they don't take their life experience, whether that's a career skill, a life experience, a passion that they have, and turn it into a course, a consulting program, a mastermind, a workshop, a community. It is the fastest growing industry in the world where people are paying for speed. We said model proven practices. You have something someone else should model. And over those 3 days, we're going to tell you how to take your life experience, how to identify it, how to package it, how to market and sell it through service, and how to turn it into a real business. This is our 7th one, averaging about 800,000 people come to each one of these events, over 100 countries. It's become a movement, and it only happens once a year. So May 15th through the 17th, about 3 hours a day. I'd say, if you liked what you're hearing today, don't dare miss it.
That's awesome. And that sounds like that probably costs, I don't know, what, $1,000 or $2,000? How much is that?
Yeah, maybe $500. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
No, you'd say, like, if you were going to attend it. Yeah, no, we always tell people it's free. It's the only, we do it free, but you should pretend you paid $1,000. Because when people pay, they show up. When people pay, they pay attention. Free, they're like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. So I would trick your mind that the link that you'll probably provide, here, pretend you paid $1,000, you pulled out your credit card, even though it's free, and it's that important for your life.
They could easily charge hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for this event. They're doing it free because they want to help as many people as possible. So register for the event. We hope to see you there.